So you're just vice chair. You're just,
Vice Chair.
you're vice chair.
You were right.
What are you?
25 seconds.
You're Rhonda Hodges, Leon Mosley Searles.
Everybody on sing?
No, you're just a member.
Put that mic over. I can't even carry up here. 10, 9, 8, 4, 8, 2.
Say hello. Welcome.
Hello,
He'll tell you when you're ready.
Oh, it's got an intro.
hello, Radioland. My name is Will Frost, and president of the board of.
Not yet, not yet.
Now,
Go ahead.
Hello, Radioland. My name is Will Frost, and president of the board of directors at the African American Historical and Cultural Museum. I'm here with my fellow board members to talk to you all about our organization and our upcoming Juneteenth celebration this Saturday from 3 to 9 at 1320 East 4th Street in Waterloo, Iowa, at our boxcar site. The boxcar, as you may already know, signifies how many African Americans arrived in Waterloo. And first I want to start off with our executive director, Marcia Griffin. She has some words to say for everyone, and I know she has to jet, and so I kind of want to give her the opportunity to speak first.
Hello, everybody. Just using this opportunity to say hello. I'm fairly new to the community, and so I'm still learning and growing with everybody else on this board. But yes, as Will said, we have an event coming up that we'd like everyone to stop out at. This is for everyone in the community, not just African Americans. Just come out, enjoy music, poetry, and some food, and don't worry about the weather.
And maybe we should go around really quickly. We have our vice chair here too.
Good afternoon. I am Joanne Speller Smith, Vice Chair for the African Museum. We're looking forward to everybody coming out for our Juneteenth this year. We had a good time last year. Looking forward to seeing you all. Looking for volunteers that can come aboard and help us with the cleanup process after Juneteenth. We need some activity for our community in Waterloo, so we're really looking forward to our Juneteenth this year. And it's my pleasure to be on the board. Have a good day.
good afternoon. I'm Pauletta. I am the secretary of the African American Historical and Cultural Museum. I'll give you an idea of my past so you know that I am qualified. I went to one of Chicago's first business colleges, Marion Business College, and I have been working in the public and retail pharmacies in Iowa as well as here in Chicago as well as in Iowa here. And I took early retirement from the United States workforce purposely and has devoted my time to volunteer work here in the Cedar Valley. I am also a radio announcer at KBOL Radio, and I added my flavor to this board as our goal is to build the Black Museum with the help of everyone in the community.
And I do want to mention, piggyback onto that really quickly, that like what Ms. Pauletta said, that this museum is a history for the whole community. So hopefully we want the whole community involved in building it.
Yes, we do.
And I'm going to pass it off real quick to our treasurer, Mr. Leon Mosley.
And my name is Leon Vincent Mosley, and I am the treasurer of the museum. It's an honor and a privilege to be on this board. This is about my 5th or 6th time being on the board since it first got started and going. And trying to get the thing built before I die.
I'm Nick Ellsworth, and I also sit on the board. I'm a recent grad from UNI. I studied history and anthropology, museum studies, and African American studies, and some really interested and excited to get this thing on its feet.
Hi, my name is Rhonda Hodges, and I am new to the board. I am a native of Waterloo, and I'm looking forward to working with them to help see the thing move forward. Thank you.
So we just kind of wanted to take this opportunity and, well, first of all, and thank KBBG for allowing us to be on air today.
Yes.
And the opportunity to speak with everyone and just kind of get our voices and our organizations out there, the things that we're working on. And so we just want to kind of just talk with you guys today. We have a little time. I know it's raining outside. It's been raining all day, and don't let anyone tell you it's not raining outside. But yes, we want to talk about Juneteenth. First of all, no, let's start with our organization. We are the new members of the board of directors. You know, this is it's a Revive initiative. We've had the opportunity to bring some really great people on board to really get this thing built. You know, we need to protect and preserve our history as African Americans in the Cedar Valley, as well as connect us with the rest of the history of the whole Cedar Valley. You know, I think we oftentimes look at history, and particularly even with African American, you look at just one segment, but it was a combination of many different people and many different people's history, and kind of want to, you know, really display that. I think I think we have an excellent board. I really look forward to working with everyone here. As for me, I'll give a quick bio of myself. I'm from Waterloo. I'm a native of Waterloo. I went to Waterloo West. I grew up over on Bates Street over here, so it's kind of funny because I remember when KBBG was on Cottage Street, and actually lived down the street from them at the time. And you know, now they moved to this beautiful facility. Like I said, I went to West High School. I moved away. I went to college in Cedar Rapids. I graduated from Cole College in Cedar Rapids, and then I kind of left Iowa for a while and said I was never coming back. I'm back. I've been back for almost 4 years now, and so it's kind of interesting because I said I was never coming back, but yet I'm back here by choice, not because I feel like I have to be here, but I'm here by choice, and I'm excited that I was asked to join this board a couple of years ago. And, you know, to get involved with this organization to help preserving our history. I grew up in the area called Smoky Joe, or the original Triangle. And in that area, that's where you found the concentration of African Americans here. You know, a lot of us came on the railroad. That's why we have a rail boxcar on our site now, you know, to help signify that. You know, so that neighborhood was an interesting neighborhood. I want to say it started off Irish, and then after the railroad strike, you know, they hired a lot of African Americans to come to work in the railroad, and so, you know, we came up here for that. And a lot of our families have links back to the railroad, and also Deer, and you know, and going back different places in Iowa and coal mines and so on. So it's kind of interesting. So I grew up in the midst of that, and but you know, this is about Juneteenth, and I think, Leon, do you have something to say about Juneteenth? Maybe give a brief history of Juneteenth, because I know a lot of people don't know exactly what Juneteenth is. You know, it's a holiday, and it's a holiday we should celebrate grandly, not just greatly, but grandly. And so I'm going to let Leon just talk a little bit about the history of Juneteenth and what it is to us.
January the 1st, 1863, Abraham Lincoln, through the Emancipation Proclamation, freed the blacks. The problem is, 2.5 years later, they were just now getting the word in Texas that they were free. 2.5 years later. And the story goes that they didn't want them to get the crops in, that cotton crop. They wanted to get that in, so they delayed everything. Another scenario was that the messenger got killed on the way to tell them they were free. Now, whichever one is true, or they all can be true, there's 3 scenarios. And they really did not want their slaves freed. They hated Lincoln that much. And after the troops went down there, they had to let them go, or face another mini war down there in Texas. So that's why they call it Juneteenth, because June the 19th, 2.5 years later, the last ones got freed. And the problem with them being freed, a lot of them did not understand what that colonel was reading to them. And they were supposed to divvy up the owner's land, and then they were gonna be sharecroppers. In other words, you're gonna work for the man, but he's gonna pay you to work for him. You're gonna become free and with property. And a lot of them just took off when they heard they were free. Didn't even hear the rest of it. A lot of them went to the southern states to visit their relatives, the sisters, dad, brothers, whatever, cousins. And they even got in more trouble, because the southern states are the ones that did not want them, so they had all kind of adversity. A lot of them went north and to freedom, and that's where we get the word Juneteenth from. The thing that makes it so annoying is back then, it was really celebrated as a holiday. They brought lamb, pork, beef, meat, and everything, their special dishes, and they really had a grandiose time. The problem is, the younger kids were not told the significance, how important it was, and it fell by the wayside. Then people started talking about their history and their history and their history, and that brought it back into the limelight of where it is today. A lot of us don't even know our history. Right here in the city of Waterloo, Emancipation Proclamation Day, nobody black in this town worked for nobody. That was a day that they just did not go to work.
You know, it's funny, I'm just gonna jump in real quick. My mom was telling me, because to be honest, a few years ago, I wasn't quite sure what Juneteenth was. And I'm sad to say that. It's just, it wasn't brought up. But, you know, speaking, I guess they called it Emancipation Day here. That's what a lot of people called it. She was telling me stories about when she was younger, and every year during Emancipation Day, she would get new clothes, she'd get a new dress, and they all had a big event. They had a big event, I want to say at the, maybe, Ms. Smith, you might know, at the ballroom, the Electric Park Ballroom. Yep. The ballroom, they'll have a big event out there every year, and they will get dressed up. It was a big deal.
Spider Kirk's.
Yep.
At Spider Kirk's too.
Yeah. So it was a big deal, and it's kind of, it is kind of disheartening. It is the oldest celebration in America signifying this, and so we want to celebrate. It's an independence for us, and not just for African Americans, but for Americans in general. If anybody isn't free in America, there's no freedom unless it's freedom for all.
And the one thing that really hurts me, makes me sad, is those people suffered. And whenever Abraham Lincoln would ride his white horse through town, or they heard he was coming through town, the blacks would come to the road and kneel down because he gave them their freedom. And today, we look at what's happening with our society. Okay. We look at what's happening to our society, and we stop and think about, we got young blacks killing young blacks. Sad state of affairs. A real sad state of affairs. He said we had 2 minutes till the end of the show.
Yeah, it's a 15-minute show.
Okay. Well, quickly, since we don't have a whole lot of time left, I'm actually going to pass the mic over here to Mr. Ellsworth. He has some previous museum experience, and I kind of like to hear him talk about some of the things he's interested in and some of the things he's done in regards to museums.
Well, as Will said, I've worked in museums for a couple of years now. I've worked at the Grout, at the Russell House, and I also recently just spent a year working at the Cedar Rapids African American Museum. where I worked in development and marketing and also in the curatorial department. So that's what I really like to do. I really like the exhibits because you're preserving the history, you're making it new and exciting it, and you're teaching it to other generations, and you're really preserving, you know, your heritage. And it's not just like African American heritage, it's like Iowa's heritage. So that's what I really like, and that's why I'm really excited about to do with this museum. You know, bring it forward and not just, you know, promote the, you know, rich and vibrant history of Waterloo, but just like in the Cedar Valley and of Iowa for like future generations to understand and appreciate it. Something that just 2 years ago I had no idea even was a thing. One day I was at a bookstore and saw a children's book about Juneteenth. I was like, oh, well, what is this? I'm a history major, I should know what this is. And I picked it up, and that's kind of how I figured out what all of this was. So I'm excited to help others learn that too.
Cut it.
Well,
You said cut it.
I think that's all the time we have for you guys today, and I want to thank you guys for listening in today. And I know you heard me talk a lot, and so you have to come to our celebration again. That is this Saturday from 3 to 9 at the Boxcar site. The address is 320 East 4th Street. 1320 East 4th Street. It's right across the street from the Sutherland Brothers Sutherland Park in Waterloo. Thank you guys again, and take care.